No organization is responsible for the content of this video. All errors and omissions are the sole responsibility of myself, David Iverson. This video must not be your only source of information. Please attend official USSA educational opportunities. Please download official USSA educational materials. All right, so I'm pretty sure that we're ready to time the first run, and so this is going to be a rather long video as I go through timing the first run of the women. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to throw some problems in there. So the first problem is this is the screen that I'm looking at before I want to get started timing, but it's not sorted correctly. If I run off of this race, it's going to first give me bib 22, then bib 28, then bib 38, then bib 23. That's not what I want. I want the bibs in bib order. Well, that's pretty easy. What I got to do is I just got to go to sort by bib, ascending, and so now it just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. Okay, and then last thing I want to do is I want to do a last check of my timing, and so algae timey, I am connected there, and I have the starter open the start wand. Right now I'm not hooked up to a start wand or a finish, I'm just doing it with buttons, but normally I would have everything hooked up, and I just don't want to do that right now. I don't actually have a starter and a finisher. So I hit the button and boom, I get a start, and yes, I get a finish. And so my hand timers are in place. I think we're good to go. The jury clears the course. So I don't see any reason why we can't continue over to the timing screen. So we're going to go to the timing screen and we're going to time the first run. Okay, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And the timing screen has basically a few different things on it that we're going to come up to as we get going. Basically runs up here, we've got who's in the starting gate, and then in the middle portion here we have who's on course, who's finished, and who the leaders are. And here we have the DNFs, and then we have some buttons up here: false start, false finish, timing log, live timing message, etc., etc. Okay, so are we ready for the first forerunner? Yes, we are. So there we have our first forerunner on course. So FA has moved out of the starting gate onto course, and then boom, they finish, and so our first forerunner has now finished and moved down into the finish. Send the second forerunner, and they're on course, and you'll notice that the forerunners don't show up under the leaders because they don't actually get times. And our second forerunner finishes. Third forerunner is on course and going, and you should announce that you have forerunners on course and maybe announce their names, but don't announce their times. But if they want to come into the timing shack and get their times, you can give them their times personally if they come into the timing shack. You just shouldn't announce their times. Okay, and so we had our last forerunner through the finish. So once again, I asked the jury, are you happy with how the course is running? Can I send the first racer? And they say, yes, you can send the first racer. So I go up to here, and I type in bib 1, and that pulls up my first racer. And I go, okay, let's get started. So now I have my first racer on course. And so we'll be running like a 15-second interval here, but we'll slow it down at times to explain things. So my first racer has been on course for 15 seconds about, and so I put my second racer on course. And then bib 1 comes into the finish, and then boom, there's bib 1 into the finish with a time of 2:07:04, putting them in first place out of one competitor. And so now I've got more 2 and 3 on course, 4 in the gate, and I'm just going to sort of, and this is just how we're sort of rocking through the race. Obviously, you're going to be doing more like a 45-second interval, but it's just, you understand that I'm doing this fast for the purposes of the video. Okay. So while we're at this, why don't we'll start throwing in a couple of wrinkles, because if I just do this, now I definitely have races where it just sort of goes like this all day. If I'm running a Super G on a trail that is well prepared and the racers are kind of calm and not just really amped up and nervous, then I can just run like this all day, and it's extremely boring, but boring in Super G is good. So, but there's always going to be some wrinkles, and so we'll add in a wrinkle right here. And the wrinkle we're going to add in is that bib 8 is a did not start. So bib 8 did not show up. We don't know where she is, but she's not here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click up here under the bib, and we're going to type in 9. Because 9 is in the gate, we're going to hit enter, and now we have 9 in the gate. So if you have a did not start, then you can just put in the next bib that you've got and just go for it. And so bib 9 is now on course, and you'll see that it knows that the next person up should be bib 10. So it just goes along like that. Okay, bib 10's on course. And then I think the next thing we're going to do here as a wrinkle is we will do a false finish. I'm sorry, yeah, well, no, we'll do a did not finish, because did not finishes are very, very common. Okay, so right now bib 10 is a did not finish. So bib 10 fell and is left the course. So I click on that competitor and I hit did not finish. And now you'll see that they appear up here. And again, I'm going through this fast. And remember that you have the power over this. You can do you can just pause me and you can rewind and you can watch different sections again and just see how I did that. So I don't want to DNF too many people, but I'm going to DNF Mio Nakamura. So DNF her, click on her, hit DNF, and she shows up over here. Okay. And one last time, I'm going to DNF. I don't have to DNF this person. I can DNF anybody that I like. So bib 15 comes on course, and then they say bib 15 DNF. So I click on bib 15 DNF, and she comes over here. Now I see bib 15 continuing, and somebody's like, I don't know, that was a mistake. No, bib 15 is on course. Okay, well, I click up here under bib 15, click on her, undo DNF, put her back on course. She's back on course, and she comes through the finish. Okay, so you can click on the competitor and you can make them a DNF, or you can over here, or you can click on a competitor here and you can put them back on course. And that's very common to do. Okay. So let's what do I want to do next? Okay, well, we'll just rock along. We've got this one, and then we've got the men too. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sort of sit here and talk for a while and seem like we're distracted, and I'll show you what we're going to do here in a second. We're not really paying attention to the race at this moment, and I think I'm going to just freeze the start while I do this. And right now, I realize that basically something bad has happened. And the bad thing that has happened is that Alexander Payton actually did not finish. Alexander Payton actually did not finish, and Rachel Crane actually finished in Alexander Payton's spot, and Chloe Daly finished in Rachel Crane's spot, and right now I have nobody on course. So this girl DNF'd. This girl should have gotten that finish. So I missed. So I got 3 starts, 2 finishes, and a DNF, and I got it sort of wrong. Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do. There's a few ways to deal with this, and so I'm going to deal with this situation in a couple of different ways here. First thing that I'm going to do, this is a really good way to deal with it. I'm going to click on Chloe Daly, and I'm going to do swap with finisher. So now Chloe Daly, she's got her time of 27.97, which is a good time. Now I'm going to click on, let's see, here's what I want to do. I think I'm a little bit stuck here. And so now I'm kind of stuck with Rachel Crane. But I can deal with that. What I'm going to do, how am I going to deal with this? Alexander Payton, I'm going to make her a did not finish. And so she is a did not finish. And I still have Rachel Crane that I have to worry about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to take Rachel Crane and I'm going to DNF her just to get her off course. So she's not DNF, but I'm going to put her as DNF just to get her off course. Now I'm going to click on her and I'm going to use this thing called time of day fix. Okay, so here is Rachel Crane's start time. Now this was the time that was originally given to the girl who did DNF. So this was the finish assigned to bib DNF, bib 17. So this was the finish assigned to bib 17, but this was actually bib 18's finish. And it says right down here in this blue box, this finish creates a valid elapsed of 28.30. So that actually is her time. That makes sense in terms of how the race is running. So I'm going to click on that. So now this is bib 18's start. This is now going to be bib 18's finish. And I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to pull Rachel Crane out of the trash, out of the did not finish. And it's going to give her a time of 28.30. So right now, what I had was I had Alexander Payton did not finish, but I missed it. And then I went through the process of correcting it so that Rachel Crane and Chloe Daly now have their times. And I'm not going to go through it again because all you have to do is you just have to go back and watch that video again and see what I did. So let's see what else we can do. Okay, so now I've got 20 on course. So I'm talking with the starter and I say, okay, 20 on course, 21 in the gate. And he goes, no, 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 no. 22 is in the gate. I said, well, where's 21? And he goes, well, I just sent 21. Are you sure you sent 21? Yeah, I'm positive. 20 was a did not start. So this here, this is actually 21. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do swap with start. So now I've got that assigned to 21. And now I've got 20 back in the gate, but 20 is not there. So I'm going to plug in 22. And so we've got 22 in the gate. And I go, okay. I talk with the people at the finish line. I say, who is the last person to go through the finish? 21. Do you have a record for bib 20? No, 20 didn't come through. Starter is like, I'm sure I didn't send 20. I sent 21. I got 22 in the gate right now. And I go, okay, we're all set. We're clear. So then we send 22, and now 22 is on course. Okay. So now we're going around, and as 23 was going into the gate, she tripped the wand. So 23 is not on course yet. So that's a false start on bib 23. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to hit this button, false start. Now there's bib 22 finishes, and now are you sure we're ready for bib 23? Yep, bib 23 finishes. Now, poor old bib 23 is getting the book thrown at her because a dog just ran through the finish and she's still skiing the course, but a dog just tripped the finish and gave her a time of 6:28. Well, she's still on course. I hit false finish and I put her back on course, and so now she's all set. Okay, bib 24 is on course. And what I'm going to do now is sort of simultaneously, I'm going to go over here to my other computer. And hang on a second, it's hard for me to do two things at once. So 1 second as I do this. Let's close her out there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my other computer. Okay, so here, right over on this computer, we are now watching the live timing screen for what I'm doing. So here, I've just got, I just put 26 on course, and we're just sort of going along, and you can see the live timing is working, and it's just, I haven't had to do anything with live timing. I just sort of set it up and it just sort of works in the background and everything is wonderful and I don't really have to touch it. So while I'm running my race over on one computer, I can be having the race is blasting out to everybody. Right now, my race that I'm doing this video for is potentially viewable by anybody in the world at this point in time. Okay, so you can see that my live timing is working on that screen. Okay, and we're going to keep running them. We got 10 racers left to go. Okay, so let's go through a few. Well, I can't think of, let's see, one more thing that I'm going to do. Finish out this person, and then we're going to DNF this person, and now that person took out a gate, so I can go down to my live timing message, and let's send a message and then erase after, well, let's just say my message is going to be brief course hold for gate repair, and I'm going to send it. And so then that will show up on my live timing, and so then I want to go over here and I want to take that out, so I'm just going to go and clear it and resend, and now we are ready to run again. So let's send bib 33. Well, that was a false finish. Okay, we've done live timing messages. We pretty much got all the basics here. There's always things that you can learn. And the thing that you can remember is you can just sort of click on the person and see what you want to do. We've done swap with start. We've done swap with finisher. We've done false starts. We've done false finishes. We've sent live timing messages. We've put athletes up here. We have looked at a few different things down here. So I think we've covered the basics. And again, I could go through it all again, but the power of YouTube is that you can just watch again. And again, if you have questions, please get in contact with me or get in contact with somebody. And also, just fool around with it and try things out yourself. You can run your own test races, and practice makes you get better with practice. And we'll go on and we'll try to do some interesting things here during the second run. Okay, just a couple more. And we got our last racer is in the gate. And we have our last racer on course. And it brings up here, people freak out because then it brings up something up here and it says, it gives you sort of a caution or wait a second, didn't so-and-so, or people freak out. When we reach the end of the list, it puts somebody up here who probably isn't going to go. So don't worry about it. We know that this is the last racer, and so that the last racer is on course. And now the last racer is approaching the finish, and the last racer finishes. So that's going to be my video on timing the first run. And so we're going to close the timing screen, and there we've got some data. And then in my next video, we're going to look at that data.